Summing up the policy meeting last week, Fed's chairman Jerome Powell said that a sharp rate hike by 75 basis points is ruled out. Nevertheless, market participants still expect more aggressive moves from the U.S. Central Bank. One of such signals to push the Fed into a more aggressive tightening is a report on U.S. consumer inflation that is due today. Let's discuss other events this trading week in a regular video calendar on InstaForex TV channel. Inflation in the United States zoomed up to 8.5% in March, the fastest annual rate in the last 41 years. The CPI for April is expected to ease its pace of growth to 8.1%. However, the projected figure is still 4 times as high as the target level set by the US Fed. As a matter of fact, such soaring consumer inflation forces the monetary authorities to respond with drastic measures, so the US dollar will extend its advance. In some video reviews, we have already told you that the European currencies trading against the US dollar are oversold. On Thursday, May 12, the pound-dollar pair has a fair chance of rebounding. Investors are anticipating preliminary data on the UK national economic output for the first quarter of 2022. According to flash estimates, the UK GDP could have expanded by 9% on year. The British economy has been growing robustly for 4 quarters straight, thus enabling the Bank of England to pursue aggressive monetary policy. Sentiment of the sterling bulls could be overshadowed by the data on industrial production that could have declined to 0.4% in March in annual terms, from 1.6% a month ago. Nevertheless, the time is ripe for a technical correction in the pound-dollar pair. Thus, we will see a bounce of the trading instrument as traders want the pound sterling to lose its oversold status and to keep on with the short positions. By and large, there are enough fundamentals for the US dollar's steady rally across the board. On Thursday, the market will find another convincing argument that might assure the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates more aggressively. Traders will take notice of producer prices in the United States. Factory inflation will provide a clue to a further trend in consumer prices. The US PPI is expected to dip, though it's likely to remain at elevated levels. The only efficient measure to push soaring inflation down is a sharp rate hike by the central bank. The healthy labor market in the United States allows the Federal Reserve to speed up the pace of monetary tightening. On Thursday, the U.S. Labor Department will release a weekly update on unemployment claims. The number of initial jobless claims has firmly settled below 220,000, the pre-pandemic average rate. Unfortunately, the ECB is unable to catch up with the US Fed in raising interest rates. Every report released in the European Union reveals negatives. On Friday, investors brace for a downbeat report on the EU industrial production for March. Experts warn about a contraction in the annual industrial output by 0.8% due to the hostilities in Ukraine and the decline in demand. Under such dismal economic conditions, traders will rush to sell the euro-dollar pair. You have watched Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable trading with InstaForex and see you soon.